On Working Week this week, we've got a bit of a showbiz theme. We've got drama, we've got suspense.
Straight away I told my wife I want that place. I'm in love with that place. Same thing, I was in love with her.
We've got glamorous cars.
It's the next thing to put in a go-kart on the road, really. The modern day car has lost all this.
And we've got an interesting warehousing operation.
It's not very showbiz, is it?
No, it isn't. What if I put my glasses on?
It's business, though.
Nottingham's a fantastic place to base a distribution business. We have great transport links, access to all sorts of fantastic resources and in particular people.
Hello, I'm Rob Pittham.
And I'm Des Coleman.
And Des, a lot of people ask us, our millions of viewers, what it's like on the other side of the camera, what we have to look at. Well, there he is. That's what we have to see.
Yeah.
This is our cameraman, Paul Hunt. Anyway, we do have something slightly better for you to look at.
Yes, we've got some wonderful sports cars made right here in Nottingham.
Speed them up onto that, so you get that even.
GBS, or Great British Sport Cars, is a business that specialises in providing both factory-built and kit cars to anyone from ordinary drivers like me to professional racing drivers.
We're unusual because we seem to be going the opposite way to everybody else. Only time will tell whether we're doing the right thing, but we're trying to manufacture more of the components for our cars than everybody else. Everybody else seems to buy components in from all over the world, and we're trying to do everything made in Great Britain. That's the niche marketplace that we're trying to achieve.
We manufacture the Zero. We make the whole car, right from the chassis, the panels. So we get the raw material in a sheet metal, tube, cut it all, weld it, produce the whole chassis, then assemble, paint to the finished vehicle. It started from when I was a kid, interested in cars, racing radio controlled cars, and then got into the bigger ones with my dad. Then at uni built a race car, started racing. And then when I finished uni, there was Robin Hood Sports Cars, were just selling some stuff, and went there to have a look what they had, and ended up coming away with a job. And then nearly a year later, there was the opportunity to buy the company. One thing led to another, and here we are today.
GBS is very much a family enterprise, and Ruth Hall, sister of director Richard, came on board to make sure that the business gets as much publicity as possible.
This is the main GBS website, which has all the information of the cars, our products and what we do. Events are on there, where we are, the track days and shows and everything. The blog, which has a huge following, we have over 200 hits a day on this. It's updated with customer news, our dealers abroad, what they're up to. Just kind of a bit of news really and what's happening, and friendly bit of information. But you can find on there all the spec for the cars, different options, factory builds, kits and everything.
We just won the contract for Formula One stock cars to supply them one make damper that we manufacture ourselves. There's about 50 competitors running on the dampers at the moment, so we're servicing all them, all the repair work, and that's over the next 5 years, so it's quite a big deal for the company.
My favourite part of the job really is to see the new products come through. We're quite enthusiastic here about making sure that we keep developing, we don't stop developing, we make sure that all products are tested fully and developed fully. But the best part is to start with a blank piece of paper and end up with a product that you've made. And the testament to that really is our shock absorbers. They were a blank piece of paper that have come out, and they are fantastic.
I think there's been a big change now with the cost of shipping and the cost of labour in places like China, etc. So I think UK should be going back into manufacturing, which I believe there is a lot more manufacturing being done in the UK. And I think people who are investing in the machinery will see good profits into the future.
Now that the economy's on the rise, job prospects, well, they're on the increase. So, what are your tips on getting gainful employment? We've got a gentleman right here, his name's Phil. Phil, you've got an interesting story about when it comes to getting a job, because you're in gainful employment now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I was unemployed for about 10 years and I recently started work with an agency. I thought no one else is going to employ me and they've given me a chance, so I'm really happy.
Ria, Ria, I know you've got some. That's a great tattoo, by the way. What's it say?
Thank you. Family, where life begins and love never ends.
When it comes to top tips for getting a job, what are yours?
Basically, you've got to believe in yourself that you can actually do this and have confidence.
Have you got any top tips about getting a job?
Apply for basically anything and everything you can. That's what I did. That's why we're both working at the moment. Yeah, we managed to find jobs.
You need to find a job where you know you're going to enjoy it, certain type of job you want, and then therefore you're going to enjoy it and you want to go to work.
Are you happy in the job that you've both got?
Yeah, I am now. Yeah, it's good. Good environment.
Love mine, yeah. Friendly people. I really enjoy it, so therefore I love going to work.
Do girls and boys have to do things differently in order to get a job?
No, I just think if you dress smart and make sure you got a bit of makeup on if you're a girl, then yeah, that will give you a good impression, first impression.
Now, as you have a tattoo, can that be a hindrance?
Yes, definitely so. So depending on what job you go for, though, I suppose. But nothing. If you can always cover tattoos up if they're in like certain places. So yeah, don't let it stop you.
Excellent. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Brilliant. Guys and ladies, top tips when it comes to getting a job.
Just keep sending CVs out and just keep applying.
Is that what you did?
Yeah, it's definitely. Well, I'm looking for jobs at the moment, so I'm just not getting my hopes down on it. Just keep applying, sending CVs out, and eventually we'll get one. There's going to be one out there somewhere.
One way of getting a good job is creating it yourself. Some of Nottingham's tens of thousands of students are doing just that, and in the process bringing even more jobs to the city. Nottingham Trent University set up the Hive 14 years ago to help them. It's like an incubator for new businesses.
We do two things. We actually do work in the curriculum helping students to be thinking about being entrepreneurial, but also to become entrepreneurial. So even if they don't want to start their own business, they've got the skills that are make them more employable in the future. Here, students and graduates who've got business ideas come in and we help them. We provide training, we provide access to the resources that you see around here. We're providing them with the support, mentoring, which goes on for up to 3 years while they actually get the business started and hopefully on its way.
When the Hive was set up, it was one of the first of its kind at a university anywhere in the country. Among the latest intake, Nick Voke, a graphic designer who graduated from Trent this summer. While studying there, he was running an events business to raise funds for charity. Now he's turning that into his own design company with the backing of the Hive.
Carrying it on here, I was coming up, once a week from London to Nottingham, and because of the support I was getting here, I decided to take it full time. And as a freelance graphic designer, they've helped me set up my company full time.
So you could have set up a company in London, but you've moved to Nottingham?
Yeah, well, I get the help and support here, so I get sort of impartial advice. I can slip into like Sean's office, just ask quick questions, or I can book a real meeting. I've got a meeting room if I meet a client, and just it's helped me a lot being here because I get the support and guidance that I need.
It depends on your company and your business completely. So
it's not just for Trent University students either. The facilities here are open to anyone who has a business idea that can make use of the university's facilities. Nottingham designer Dragos Nicolescu has done just that. We've seen his designs on show at the Prisma's shop in the Broadmarsh, but he came to the Hive after, in his own words, being thrown out of another college, and finds it the perfect place to grow a fledgling business.
It's a good place to meet people and network. It's also a good place to come in if I have any problems with legal stuff, accountancy stuff, just business stuff. Or if I'm stuck between two ideas, I can always get someone else's opinion on it because it's just me doing the brand. I don't have anyone else to really ask apart from friends, but I'd get quite annoyed if someone just kept asking me stuff, so it's their job, they have to listen to me.
So would you do one of those instead of making a website we talked about earlier?
At any given time, around 100 people are using the Hive to build up their businesses. It's always a busy place, but some things haven't changed too much.
I don't think actually the kind of business has necessarily changed all that much. Most students and graduates who have ideas, the ideas are either born out of the subject they're studying, which obviously in Nottingham Trent has a lot of the creative industries, and also from their own passions and their hobbies and interests, and those don't change from decade. What has changed is the requirements and the needs. There is much less need for an actual physical presence. Broadband, the connectivity of the internet has really made it, mobile phone technology has made it a lot easier for a business to be done from the bedroom table, or the kitchen table, or the back room. What does happen though is people still want a place to come to interact with other business people, the environment, the community that we try and provide here in the Hive.
And businesses don't come much more traditional than newspapers and textile manufacturing, but that's exactly what two of the latest companies to emerge from the Hive are working in, and we'll hear more about how they're doing later in the show. Well, that's it for this half. In the second half, we'll be looking at a medical company that's got a £30 million plus turnover.
You can have just day-to-day conversations with directors, people right at the top, and that's what I like.
We'll be meeting the students who are creating new jobs in Nottingham.
I took on my first employee back in November. The aim is to bring someone else in after Christmas.
See you in a short while.
Well, welcome back, and in this half we'll be looking at a Nottingham company that sells scientific supplies all over the country.
Last financial year turning over £36 million. This year aiming for a little more than that.
And Des, the businessman, restoring a Nottingham historical landmark.
Nottingham need places like this. Nottingham is a lovely place, lovely people, deserve more.
And we'll be continuing the student theme by looking at the impact that they have on the Nottingham economy. What does that mean?
We've started up the better part of 400 businesses. Nearly 70% of them are still around today, and they turn over about 10 million a year. They employ nearly 500 people, and most of that's in the Nottingham area.
All of that to come.
But first, we like to bring you the side of Nottingham's business life that you maybe didn't even know existed. And Helen McCulloch has been long to see one company which delivers scientific laboratory supplies.
You got it.
Scientific laboratory supplies all over the country.
Tucked away on an industrial estate in Wilford sits a major player in the science industry. Scientific Laboratory Supplies provides equipment to laboratories across the UK and the world.
SLS are a distributor of laboratory equipment, consumables and chemicals, which we distribute all over the world. We supply every laboratory marketplace, so life science, chemical industry, food, research institute, universities, anywhere with a laboratory. Most of our business is in the UK. Around about 12% currently is international, and our international markets are predominantly Middle East and Africa. Since the business was started 23 years ago, we've developed incredibly, mainly in terms of the size of the business that we manage. So we've grown each year over that 23-year history to the size that we are now. Last financial year turning over £36 million. This year aiming for a little more than that. In terms of the footprint we have here in Nottingham, we started off with a handful of people and now employ something like 160 individuals, and about 2/3 of those are locally based in Nottingham.
And that growth has allowed the company to show its altruistic side.
As part of our community investment programme, we like to support the communities that we work within, both domestic, local and international. Recently we supplied around £3,000 worth of consumable products to aid a fight against Ebola in affected countries in Africa.
So, more funding for science and a huge international market spells more growth for SLS.
Thanks for all your hard work then, Lauren.
No problem.
Much appreciated.
No problem at all. It's a very friendly place, it's very personal. You can have just day-to-day conversations with directors, people right at the top, and that's what I like working here.
Let's know on your desk already.
The company also sponsors Medic City and BioCity in Nottingham.
Thanks very much indeed.
They work together to help scientists build successful businesses in bioscience and health industries.
Nottingham's a fantastic place to base a distribution business, clearly just from a geographical point of view. We have great transport links, access to all sorts of fantastic resources and in particular people. It was an easy decision to make 23 years ago when we set up this business here.
A Nottingham landmark more than 100 years old is about to get a new lease of life. The pumping station on the Mansfield Road, just outside Arnold, provided water for the city for more than 100 years. It was turned into a cafe and restaurant 15 years ago, but the business was struggling until Albanian-born businessman Arthur Senja popped in for a coffee and fell in love with the place.
We came for a drink with my missus, and it was so amazing place. We said, wow, my God, how we missed that many years we've been in Nottingham and we didn't see that place. And after a little bit while, we find out the place was for sale, and we straight away I told my wife, I want that place. I'm in love with that place. Same thing, I was in love with her. You know.
Arthur spent a fortune renovating the building and has set up a spa, gym, restaurant and conference and wedding venue. He's hoping that the gardens and architecture will draw people in from across the city.
How's today?
That's fine. Very well, yes. Taught some new members today.
Fantastic.
He came to the UK 15 years ago and began working in a fish and chip shop. He eventually bought that and hasn't looked back.
After the first shop, we bought the second shop, the third shop, with the right people behind us. After that, I started to buy bar, restaurant, pubs. We bought it, we closed it down, nearly everything changes. We are very happy. We employ now over 60 people. But the success is not below to me, the success is below to my staff because I have lovely staff.
The pumping station, though, is his most ambitious project, and Arthur's doubled turnover and created more jobs in every venture he started. And he's hoping the same business principles will work here.
My customers and my staff, I put myself in their position. If I don't like something to eat, we're not going to serve to the customers. The key of the successful, I think, is on the staff. I have the best staff on Nottingham, and I try to have the right people. I make sure I pay a little bit better than minimum wages, where them to feeling like it's them own places.
So this is going up to the tower?
Yeah.
So far, the refurbishment of the building and its grounds has cost more than £1 million.
I done nearly everything. The roof was left in bad condition. We done all the jobs where need to be doing, and those where you're gonna see we change everything in good quality because I want everything perfect. I want to do things right. I don't want to do things twice. And this place, you need to do it professional.
But it's clearly a labour of love.
I think that place have the right man now, and I have the right place.
And with planning permission to add a hotel here too, there's potential for another 30 to 40 jobs and more than £2.5 million of investment.
Well, you've got to be tight on the budget, you know, you've got to keep it within the constraints of...
Set up 14 years ago, the Hive Business Centre at Trent University has created around 500 jobs, most of them in Nottingham, and the next generation is already about to graduate.
Great, so now we've got that here, we can now see that we need to just start curving this off here, and then once we've done that, you can see we're getting a really good shape.
Rachel Hobbs is growing a textile business that brings designers, manufacturers and retailers together.
I started off working freelance for some other companies, so gained a lot of experience there, helping them source manufacturing within the UK. And it was actually through that that I realised that there was a gap where there were UK companies and brands who just couldn't find production in the UK, mainly because factories are useless at actually advertising themselves, putting themselves on websites. So we've kind of tried to help those people out, and therefore we've gone out, we've done the hard work, we've found the factories, and then, you know, it just makes it an easy one-stop shop for people, really.
Our textile industry has been in decline for years, but it's a traditional strength in Nottingham and at Trent University. And Rachel is seeing signs of a revival around the country.
Actually, over the last couple of years, there's been a big resurgence, and now people are really kind of getting behind the campaign for Made in the UK, which is great. And I've even noticed it in the last 3 years that Bridge and Stitch has been going. A lot of our factories are getting much bigger. We're now getting clients outside of the UK contacting us wanting Made in the UK products. So it's great, and it's good to see that people are really trying to get behind and support UK production. There we go.
And another industry that's widely seen as in decline is providing a growing business for Chris Moss. This Trent graduate in business marketing set up a university newspaper in his second year. Now he's teamed up with a publisher to roll it out across the UK.
The aim is 16 cities at the moment. We'll then scale it up to 30, hopefully in January next year, possibly the September at the latest. And then our online platforms are going to be strengthened dramatically during that period as well. And then there's a few other ideas that are in the pipeline as well.
You must be delighted. I mean, how long is it since you graduated?
My graduation ceremony was about 2 months ago. So.
And now you're running a nationwide business?
Yeah. It's good. It's hard, but the Simeon who I've partnered with are very good, and the support from the Hive's good. So it's
How do you feel? I bet you can't believe it, really, can you? Be honest. Come on, be honest. You're looking really cool and businesslike, but you must be amazed.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Sometimes I step back a little bit and go, it's really cool. But then quite often you're so engaged with it continuously, and it's very much part of my life all the time that maybe the excitement slightly, it doesn't wear off because I'm very, very excited, but when you're in it so much, it's just making sure we meet them next goals and we get to where we need to be.
It's a remarkable success story by any standards, and Chris says the Hive has proved a vital resource.
The fact that I could come here, do some of my university work as well as run the business, and have a couple of people in here with me doing ad sales and various bits, been very useful, and the support that Chris and Phil give as well, and the programme Enterprise Inc. I was on, it's been good.
The centre helps Trent University students, but is open to anyone in the city with a business idea that would benefit from its help, giving a boost to Nottingham's economy.
It fulfills a number of benefits to Nottingham. It is the fact that the university is first of all participating in the community. It's providing a means of graduate retention. Generally speaking, Nottingham is behind national averages on graduate retention, so anything that can be done to keep the talent pool in the city after they've graduated is, I think, to the advantage. Obviously there's the turnover, there's the employment. So what do we do for Nottingham? I think quite a lot.
So if we look at the pattern.
And Rachel Hobbs is the latest to plan to take her business out of the Hive to create more jobs for our economy.
Ideally, I'd love to have my own factory. So that's kind of the plan within the next 5 years or so, which we're aiming for, so that everything can be done on site here, which I think would be great if we can try and get more people involved back into the industry.
For more than a decade, the Hive has been helping new businesses to get off the ground, generating more than £10 million and 400 new companies along the way. It's a production line that's producing jobs and money for Nottingham's economy, and one that shows no sign of slowing down yet. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show. Did you enjoy it, Dad?
I loved it. I always love the show, Rob.
Yeah, it's great fun, isn't it? I'm off to get one of those tattoos now.
I'm off to put my sunglasses on and enjoy the sunny weather.
Let's go. See ya.